Can you talk about going and battling their backs and what kind of a battle that was all night?
The game was the game that I think we played very well. Obviously, the outcome wasn't what we expected or wanted, but I feel like as a team, we did very well. We did a lot of things. As I said, we did a lot of things very well, and we're that close. Watching film, going over the game tape on Sunday, we're one block away from scoring a touchdown, another block away from scoring another touchdown. I think we left 3 touchdowns on the field that we gave up. I mean, we just kicked field goals. They were like 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. We're inside the 20 or on the 10, if it's to score a touchdown, and we just couldn't, finish. So we're right there. I think that receivers, we all made plays whenever the time came about, and we knew that in order to be able to beat a top-ranked team like them, we were going to have to make plays. Coach always tells us that the offense revolves around the receivers, and if we don't make plays, the offense isn't going to be good. So we knew going into the game that we had to make plays, and we didn't care if they were ranked number 3. We wanted to go out there and prove to the nation that, one thing that we had already proved against Baylor, that we're here, we're going to always be here, and people are going to have to respect us. So we knew in order for that to happen, we would have to go out there and make big boy plays, or people think we're not power conference. We have to go out there and prove to them that our conference is dominant and that we don't fear anybody. So going against their backers, I feel like we did a very, very, very good job going against their backers. I feel like we were unstoppable whenever it came to going against their defensive backs. There weren't many times where they were able to stop us without it being a penalty most of the game. So I feel like we were very successful going against their defense.
Is it hard to tell the difference between offensive and defensive interference?
Don't answer that.
As you started collecting either long catches or drawing penalties on their DBs, it looked like their body language changed, like they were getting frustrated. Did you see that? Was there frustration? Did they say anything?
They actually could see it. They started off the game. It's what you expect from DBs. They start off the game and they're confident. They have to be confident or they're going to get beat. So they start off the game. They didn't really say much, but their defense. I remember at the beginning of the game, I went to go block one of the safeties, and then I got up. The play was over, and one of the defensive linemen came to me and was like, "Are you gonna catch any balls today?" And I just kind of went back to the line, and I was like, okay, we'll see. We'll see what happens. And so, as you said, I saw the body language change. One of my teammates, Daniel Gresham, one of my old teammates, he said that he was watching the game and from the stands, and every time one of the DBs saw me going to their side, it's kind of like dropped their head like, okay, here we go. It's going to be a war. And that's one thing I want every defensive back to know, that when I line up against them, if I'm running a route or if it's going to block you, it's going to be a battle. And you're not going to get a playoff. And that's one thing Coach Sept always instills in the receiving room, is that he wants them to never get a playoff. And that's one thing I wanted to do. I wanted to punish them every time I lined up against them. And that's one thing I want every DB to know that we play against, that when you line up against me, you're gonna get my best. If I'm running a route or if it's gonna block you, you're gonna get punished. Every play that I get a chance to put my hands on you, I'm gonna punish you. So I thought that I could see it. Their body language wasn't what it needed to be. I feel like they lost their confidence as the game went on, and that's one thing that I feel isn't something. You have to have confidence throughout the game. Whether it's going good or bad, you have to have confidence, or it's just going to keep. It's going to be a slippery slope. It's going to keep going downhill. So I felt that their body language wasn't what it needed to be. Just playing the game fast and playing it hard. I guess that's what you do to people's confidence. If you play the game to your utmost ability, you can kill people's confidence. So that's my goal, is to go out there and to punish every defensive back that lines up in front of me and make him think about, like, is this really right for me? So.
Did you get a chance to talk to that defensive lineman again later in the game?
I actually didn't get to. He didn't say much after the game to me.
What's your mindset when Matt takes those shots down the field towards you and looks your way?
Honestly, the thing that goes in my mind is I need to catch this ball, not only for Matt, but for offensive. The main group that goes in my mind whenever Matt throws those balls to me is the offensive line. I told them since spring, I told them in fall camp that if you give Matt enough time to get the ball off, I will reward y'all. I'm not gonna go down there and have y'all blocking y'all's butt off and go down there and not finish. I'm gonna do whatever I possibly can to make a play for you guys and because I know y'all are working y'all's butt off for him to be able to get the ball off. So that's the one group that I feel, one, is underrated, and two, I definitely want to help whenever it comes to Matt taking those shots, because they're blocking their butt off. And Coach always says 4 to 6 seconds of relentless effort. They're blocking. They have the hardest job, I feel, on the field, and they've been doing an excellent job of making it look easy and giving Matt time to make plays, and it all starts with them. So whenever Matt takes those shots, I know that I have to do what I possibly can, and it's not for me, but for Matt, for the offensive line, for the coaches, and just to help the team as a whole. But the main group that goes in my mind is helping the offensive line and being able to try to get them off the field faster. Because I know they're working their butt off in the trenches, and the trenches isn't a place that is easy to be at. So I know that the thing that goes in my mind is just making a play for them. I know they're working their butt off.
You were one of the last additions to SMU's 2014 recruiting class. You originally committed to a different program. In your own words, how did you end up at SMU?
It was honestly, it was a blessing. That's the only way I can look at it. It was God working in my life, because I always tell the story to people, and they kind of just look at me like, but I didn't have, the only Texas offer I had was Texas State, and I really wasn't wanting to go there. My parents really wanted me to stay close to home because I really was a homebody. My first time flying a plane was my first recruiting trip, so I really hadn't been out of Texas. So to be able to get a Texas offer was amazing, and then get it at this institution where I can play dominant football and also get a great education. I just saw it as a blessing there. But for me to get hurt, for my season to not count last year, and to get that year all the way back and get new coaches, so I started over as a complete, as a freshman, getting 4 years with this coaching staff. There's no other way to look at it than as a blessing, and that's the only way I look at it. It's just God working in my life.
You didn't get a chance to play a lot last year, but you were here and you practiced. What's the biggest differences you see in Matt Davis last year and Matt Davis this year?
Confidence. Matt has a swagger about him that he knows that no one, he is the guy, and he knows that he's not going to let anybody outwork him. He's going to work harder than any quarterback that we have. He's going to try to work harder than anybody on our team, because he knows that the offense flows through him, and that if he's not flowing right, then nothing's going to flow right. So I feel that he has a swagger about him that says that he's here to win. He's going to bring other people along with him so that we can be successful, because in order for the team to be successful, you have to work on yourself. That's one thing that Brian Kane always tells us. You have to be a good teammate first before you can help the team. And I feel like that's one thing that Matt does. He carries himself so big. He has a big body language, and he has a confidence and a swagger about himself. And people just want to be like him. They want to gravitate towards him and have the same energy and the same confidence that he has, the same swagger that he has. So I feel like his confidence and his swagger about him is one thing that I see is different than last year.
You practice one-handed catching?
Occasionally.